Recent developments in Syria have led to significant political upheaval and raised concerns about a possible plane crash involving President Bashar al-Assad. Rebel forces, notably Hayat Tahrir al-Sham HTS, have reportedly taken control of key Syrian cities, including the capital, Damascus. This offensive culminated in the toppling of President Assad's regime. Celebrations erupted in Damascus, with thousands gathering to mark the city's liberation from Assad's rule. Amid the regime's collapse, President Assad's location remains unknown. Reports indicate that a Syrian air flight departed Damascus as rebels seized the capital. The aircraft, initially heading towards the coastal region, a stronghold of Assad's Alawite sect, made an abrupt U-turn over Homs before disappearing from radar. This has led to speculation that the plane may have crashed, potentially with Assad on board. Senior Syrian army officers suggested that President Assad boarded a plane in Damascus with an unknown destination. The sudden disappearance of the aircraft from radar has fueled rumors of a possible crash. However, there is no official confirmation regarding Assad's status, and some reports suggest he may have sought refuge at the Russian-operated Khmeimim air base in Syria. Global leaders have welcomed the fall of Assad's regime, urging a stable political resolution. Countries like Israel have heightened their regional presence amid the unfolding events. The situation in Syria is rapidly evolving, with the fate of President Assad and the details of the alleged plane crash remaining uncertain. Ongoing developments are being closely monitored, and further information is awaited to clarify these events. Rebel forces have successfully overtaken major Syrian cities, including Damascus. This marks the effective collapse of Assad's regime, with widespread celebrations reported in Damascus. The uprising was spearheaded by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham HTS, among other groups, signaling a turning point in the Syrian conflict. A Syrian air flight reportedly departed Damascus shortly before rebels seized the city. The flight was initially headed toward the coastal region, historically an Assad stronghold. Over Homs, the plane performed an unexpected U-turn before disappearing from radar. It is widely rumored that President Assad was on board the flight. Some believe the aircraft may have crashed, but no wreckage or confirmation has been found. Other reports suggest Assad might have sought refuge at the Russian-controlled Khmeimim air base. The fall of Assad's regime has been met with cautious optimism from global powers. Regional actors, including Israel and neighboring countries, are monitoring the situation closely for potential instability. Russia has not issued an official statement about Assad's fate, adding to the mystery. The fall of Assad's regime has been met with cautious optimism from global powers. Regional actors, including Israel and neighboring countries, are monitoring the situation closely for potential instability. Russia has not issued an official statement about Assad's fate, adding to the mystery. The fall of Assad's regime has been met with cautious optimism from global powers. Regional actors, including Israel and neighboring countries, are monitoring the situation closely for potential instability. Russia has not issued an official statement about Assad's fate, adding to the mystery. Flight disappearance. A Syrian air flight, believed to be carrying Assad, departed Damascus but vanished from radar near Homs after an abrupt U-turn. This has led to unverified reports suggesting a possible crash. Alternative destinations. Some reports indicate that Assad may have fled to Moscow with his family, following advice from Egypt and Jordan. Others suggest he might have sought refuge at the Russian-operated Khmeimim air base in Syria. Global leaders have acknowledged the fall of Assad's regime, emphasizing the need for a peaceful transition. The United Nations described the event as a historic new beginning, urging justice for past atrocities. Regional powers, including Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Qatar, have agreed to collaborate on stabilizing Syria. As of now, there is no official confirmation regarding President Assad's exact whereabouts or the circumstances of the reported plane disappearance. The situation is rapidly evolving, and further updates are anticipated as more information becomes available. The situation remains fluid, with ongoing efforts to establish a new governance structure. International stakeholders are closely monitoring developments to support a stable and peaceful transition in Syria. United Nations described Assad's fall as a historic new beginning, emphasizing the need for justice and a peaceful transition. Regional powers. Countries like Israel have taken precautionary measures, including establishing buffer zones in the Golan Heights and conducting airstrikes on strategic locations in Syria.